Okay, so I've had my dentures out since last night. I took them out and I put them in here with the hot water and the denture tablet, and they've been sitting there undisturbed overnight. So I'm going to open it up and show you kind of what I do. So I take it, I usually switch it around. It kind of look like that. You have bubbles. The water will be cold and it'll be a little bit thick because you had the foaming stuff as well as any glue residue. So I usually put my hand on the denture, dump it out, run some hot water. I'll rinse it out. It's not hot yet, it's cold. So I'll rinse it out. It's got kind of a minty, it smells good. Now this is pretty hot. So I'll usually, it's got this thing here, so if you don't want to get your hands all wet, but I really don't care. So I'll rinse it 2 or 3 times, like that. I'll bring the dentures themselves out and inspect for any chunks of glue. Now I'll zoom in here in a minute. I'll inspect for any little chunks of glue that are remaining, and usually just under the weight of the water, the water pressure, they'll come off. Now I also brushed and polished these. I usually don't, but I did last night. I just used regular non-abrasive toothpaste and a toothbrush, and then I soaked them. And the same with the lowers. So I polish these guys a little bit, and I'll do it every now and then, probably every other week or once a week. And here's the thick spot that I was showing you earlier. So I'll just rinse them off like this. They've already been rinsed off. Sometimes I'll just stand them up in the container, let them drip dry. I don't know if they actually drip dry, but in my own head, it makes sense. So that's just pretty much what I do with those. So I got my teeth there, I got my glue there, I got my instruments of cleaning there, and I'm gonna put these away because I already cleaned everything. You don't need them, and I'll end up knocking them on the floor, and then they're really dirty, and you get it. So those over there. Next is you got to dry these off. I've applied them wet, and the water creates a barrier, so the glue doesn't adhere very well. So I will get a washcloth. Now, if you get a little bit of glue that you didn't get off there, and you get it on your washcloth, you'll notice it. So if you go to wash your face or anything with this, you get like this, it's almost like used chewing gum that's soft. It'll stick. It's pretty gross. So use a clean one, and I would just use it for this only. But if you clean them really good, drying them off, it's no different than drying your hands on it, except those are more sanitary. They've been sterilized, basically. So I will take this guy here, fold it like that to bunch it up, because I want it to be kind of poofy to get in all the grooves. So it's kind of hard to see here. See if we can turn the light on, a little extra light. Of course it doesn't really want to focus very well. You can see it's wet, and there's a lot of little bumps and grooves and everything because that was a contour of my gums when they took the mold. So I'll take my folded up washcloth, pull my finger out, and just run it real. I'm just being gentle here. You know, you don't have to, you're not polishing it or anything. You just want to get that water absorbed. And just go like that. And you'll actually notice that this little ridge becomes moist and wet pretty quick. So just move it on to another spot. Do it again. This whole process can take you like less than 5 minutes once you've done it a few times. You get a system down and it works really good. I usually am running late for work in the morning, and it doesn't, you wake up 5 minutes earlier, or you pick up the pace a little bit when you're doing something else, pouring your coffee or whatever, and it's plenty of time. Other people just get up earlier and yeah, I'd rather stay up late. Now, okay, so those are the lowers. And I'll just put them back up here. Now, there's still a little bit of water in this container. So I'll try dumping that out. Because I just dried them off. I don't want them getting wet again. So what I'll do is usually stand them up. A little bit of moisture on the ends, no big deal. And then these guys here, bring up, you can see it's wet. That's the inside. So I take this guy here. Just got to be careful in this ridge because sometimes the dentist has to go in and remake this to contour after the swelling goes down, and it's usually more brittle than like it's still flexible a little bit. Like I can still flex it just a little, but I don't want to because you can see the ridge line where it's been ground down and then this has been added to it. So just be careful. I mean, these are expensive and they're a pain in the ass not to have teeth. You can get by, but life sucks without teeth. So, and generally, usually on the uppers, you just got to dry them off in general. You'll get water around the teeth and stuff. So, go like that, go like this, you know. Just pay attention, you can see. Usually you end up having a little bit of water right here in there, or in the back corners, depending on the contour of your mouth and the contour of the dentures. So you can bunch it up like that. Go like this. And if all else fails, you can take the corner that has like a lot of strings, if you have one like that. Just get it on there. These don't have to be nice. You just got to be functional. So anyways, that's pretty dry. And you can always do worst case scenario and blow the little moisture out. I don't need to because I already got it pretty dry, but gives you an idea. So, next we'll talk about glue more. Ooh, that'd be a good photo.